stay-at-home dad, watching Disney movies he never had. His daughter digs through all the VHS, crushing the classics in a princess dress. Informed like Scuttle, Kurt's got your ticket, making it real like Jiminy Cricket. Most are off the Captain Hook, but if the Tweedledum, he'll be taking more shots than Bambi's mom. Leave him raised like Simba, or cracked like the Beast dishes. He'll show you a whole new world, you won't need 3 wishes. Stay-at-home Disney dad.
Alright, yeah, the whole point of the series is to sit on the couch with my daughter, watch these classic Disney VHS movies for the first time in my life and judge them accordingly through the eyes of an adult. But recently Macy discovered Moana on Netflix, and it's been a steady stream of Moana in the house for the last few weeks, so I decided to already betray the format, and what the heck, let's do a new non-VHS Disney release. Let's do Moana. It feels dirty watching this on Netflix, and also makes me realize how Disney is throwing away millions of dollars by not releasing retro versions of these new movies on VHS in the classic white clamshells. Or at least a clamshell with like a thumb drive with the movie on inside, kind of like how you get Nintendo Switch games these days. I don't know. I want this to feel like how the others feel, the aged, brittle, white, plastic smelling case. It's not there. And this movie's already starting with 2 strikes against it. She's going to be an uphill battle, Moana. That being said, the opening of Moana is perfect. It sets the stage subtly by showing Moana's spirit as a toddler and how the sea has already chosen her. The animators give it to you right out of the gates, and the water looks crisp and so realistic as it bends and opens for her. I'm hooked. Apparently, they had a team of like 9 animators that only did the water scenes. I already love this movie. 10 minutes in and Moana disobeys authority, almost dies, and gets harshly scolded as her father rewarns her not to go out into the sea past a certain cutoff point. Not unlike Ariel's father telling her not to go to the surface, Simba's father telling him not to go to the elephant boneyard, and the beast telling Belle not to go to the west wing of the castle. That's not a knock. It was a warm throwback, and whew, I'm glad he warned her when he did, and that'll never be an issue in this movie again. Soon she disobeys the rules again, and we meet Maui, voiced by the universally loved actor Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Now, obviously, people love Johnson because he's muscular and attractive and is a good person in real life. There are countless stories of him going way above and beyond for his fans, and all his social media posts come across as sincere and motivating instead of braggy. But if you ever wondered why us jaded adult males really love The Rock, it's because we made him. Fact. I'll explain this in 2 sentences because it's pro wrestling related and I don't want to lose all of you. In the 80s, the WWF wrestlers were clearly defined good guys and bad guys. And although Hulk Hogan's and Iron Sheik's were long gone by 1996, the storytelling and character categories sadly remained. So in came Rocky Maivia, the goodest good guy who would high-five the fans on the way to the ring and have the biggest smile on his face, and he was always just so gosh darn happy to be there. Problem was, by 1996, all the fans who were kids in the 80s were now angry, hormonal teenagers who felt insulted by this boring, traditional good guy who was suddenly beating everyone else on the roster. And no matter what town they went to, the angry crowds would chant, "Die, Rocky, die," and Rocky sucks at this poor guy. It was so bad that they finally just took him off TV and brought him back 4 months later as a legitimate bad guy, who got to get on the microphone and tell the fans to stick it using his real-life frustration as motivation. And it was during this period where he developed the Rock character with his arrogance and his swagger, and hey, the rest is history. So yeah, I 100% take a small bit of credit for his success, like everyone else who was a wrestling fan in the 90s. What a time to be alive. Back to Moana. Moana sings a song about how far she'll go. Maui sings a song about how you're welcome. He's so awesome. And one of the greatest and unique supporting characters ever in Disney, a giant shiny crab named Tamatoa, sings about being shiny, and I don't think there's been a Disney movie since The Lion King with 3 legit musical hits like this. Plus, if you watch past the end credits, a defeated Tamatoa complains about how no one would treat Sebastian this way, which is really funny. Now he eventually reveals his sad backstory, where in Disney tradition, he had to make something of himself all on his own because at a young age his parents died. Just kidding. His parents decided they didn't want little Maui as a son and threw him away like garbage. Excuse me, I dropped something, Disney. My jaw. Jeez, Disney. Everything wraps up with some subtle environmental overtones, and we are left realizing we just watched a full 90-plus minute Disney movie with a female lead that wasn't a princess and wasn't romantically involved with anyone ever. Plus, she was stubborn in a raw, brave way that never seemed forced. Time and time again, she would attempt something she just wasn't physically able to do, while Jerk Maui stood there and watched her. try and fail over and over and over until he realized she would probably keep at it until either she did it without his help or dropped dead trying. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you properly write a female lead past the tired, broken, but beautiful crutch. Moana is the blueprint. This also reminds me how in the corporate world these days, companies have convinced themselves that change for the sake of change equals progress, and let the movie Moana shine as an example of how that is just not true. Other than the super strong female lead, Moana follows the typical Disney story arc, and it's perfect. It's exactly what it should be and needs to be. Plus, Moana is just plain awesome. To quote former WWE ring announcer Jim Ross, "She's like a pit bulldog. Doesn't know how small she is. Probably doesn't give a damn."
That's what I think about.
What do you think?
What we have is a concern about Curtis Anderson. His interviewing style is not the best. His personal appearance is not the best. I was wondering if the man has some kind of a hold over the channel that he's allowed to be employed for so long with the standards of journalism and personal appearance that he has. Thank you.